G'day guys, following on from the upgrade for the LED in the dash instrument cluster, I'm going to upgrade the globes to LED with the blue hue in this particular instrument cluster as well. So I'll start pulling it apart. So we've got a couple of little plugs that we need to pull out, and there's one on that side and there's one on down on that side over there, and we need to pull those two plugs out and then unscrew the screws out of that. So when popping these little clips out, just know that you've got to pop just the top off. So that's pretty bit hard to see. So don't try and pull the whole thing out, just pull it. It's like a cap, okay? So which it's about halfway up. So once you've got those two screws out, just remove this top cover off here and pull that off. So the bulbs sit right at the back there. But unfortunately, you can't just pull them out, which is a bummer. If you could just pull them out and replace the globes, would be good, but you've actually got to pull that fascia off to get the to get enough clearance to get those bulbs out. And by pulling that off, then you expose some screws down the sides here as well. So there's one on either side of there, so you need to unscrew those ones to pull the actual piece out. You remove those two and those two, and then you can just pull that straight up and out, and that then gives you access to the bulbs at the back here. Okay, and so we can just pull them out and put the LED ones in. Yeah, so just use a pair of pliers. Again, they're like the wedge pieces, so they're the T10 wedge ones, and they're just clear, but they have that blue sleeve over the top. But I'm going to replace them with the T10 LEDs. So yeah, just pull them out of the sockets. So just gently, if you can use your fingers, all the better, but if you can't, just gently use the pliers. So the LEDs I've gone for is this type here. So they're not as bright as the ones I put in the dash. So there's only got 4 LEDs on them, whereas the ones in the dash had like 8. When you buy them, they do reference this. So I've gone for a less brighter LED for this cluster. And so we'll pop those in. So just with popping these in, just be careful there. You get those wires, make sure they're parallel and they're where they're supposed to be, and they're not twisted before you put them in. Right, so before we put them back in, we'll test to make sure they work first. And as you can see, they work fine. So and that wasn't just pure luck, they actually didn't work, and I had to flip them around, to be honest. So but I've, you know, before I've put this all back together, I've made sure they work. That's the point there. Okay, so now we'll just put them back into the sockets, and we'll put it all back together again. Bit of a tip for new players. Also, if you've got a bit of blue tack, stick it on the end of your Phillips head screwdriver, and so when you put it into your screw, it stays there. Especially handy when you're trying to get down into areas like that where you can't really get your fingers in, because the last thing you want to do is you want to lose your screw down into the dash there. So yeah, just a bit of a tip. Right, so I've got all 4 screws screwed back in. Now it's just a matter of just putting that fascia back on and those 2 screws back in the side. Alright guys, so that's all back together. Probably one of the easiest mods you'll ever do. Easy peasy. Probably the hardest thing is snapping those little caps back on the side there. They actually clip back on. You've got to actually use something that's fairly soft just to give them a bit of a tap on. They just don't push on really. But yeah, so that's it. So when it gets a bit dark, I'll show you them all lit up. Hi guys, back out of the car. A bit darker now, as you can see. Nothing on the screen. Flicker on, there we go. Yeah, so there's the blue LEDs all lit up in there, pretty good. As I know, not super bright, but they don't need to be. Not as bright as the dash, you know, but that's the way I want it. So the shades of blue are a little bit different, but not overall, not too bad. So that's phase 2. Phase 3 now is to do the heater and air conditioner controls. They've got white LEDs in them at the moment, so I've already swapped them out for LEDs, but I'll change them to the blue. I'll put a video out pretty soon with phase 3, which is swapping them over. So like and subscribe to be able to see that one if you're interested. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope these mods and videos help in some way. Yeah, keep on trucking.